everybody. Welcome to Rock, Paper, Hand Grenades. I'm Matt Connerton, and with me, of course, as always, the Honorable Gary S. Hopper, who is transfixed by his pineapple-style, less humane hand grenade.
Asphyxiated is the word I was thinking.
Really? That will asphyxiate you?
Well, in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a way.
Make it hard to breathe.
Yeah, it would.
So you have both hand grenades there, so it's a balanced show.
Yes, I try to keep things balanced.
Yes.
We have the humane hand grenade and the inhumane hand grenade.
What's the difference?
We had this discussion.
We had, yes.
Because some people are allergic
Well,
to pineapple, so that one's
yeah.
inhumane.
No.
That one might
Isn't that the
slip
reason?
out of your hand as opposed to the other one where
No.
you purposely
No,
mean to throw it.
one's not
Just
heavy
kidding, I'm
enough.
kidding.
Oh, you would know. One you couldn't throw
I
as
just remember the
far.
conversation.
Whoa, wait. Go ahead.
One you couldn't throw as far,
That's,
and it always landed way too close.
well,
Couldn't throw them as far.
Oh.
that's not why it's inhumane, but that is that you're correct. This one
Interesting.
actually
Very
weighs
nice.
more than
You're
this one, so it's not
Daddy
as.
guessing.
But anyway, Charlie and Craig.
She knows that.
Charlie and Craig is here again with us because I can't get enough of her.
Oh, that's sweet.
Don't tell
That's
my
sweet.
wife though.
She doesn't watch the show, right?
she
Your
won't
wife?
know.
No, she won't know.
Okay.
But, so who did you bring with us today? You
We have-
bring with you,
Christine Rosati,
I'm always here.
right?
She's always
she's always here.
Yeah, she's always here.
And we have our own little junior Miss New Hampshire, North America, Emily McFarland. It's her first time here.
That's I don't recognize Emily, so yes,
Yes.
this would have to be her first time, or the Alzheimer's has really kicked in real hard.
Oh, wow.
No, it
Yeah.
hasn't.
No,
No.
no. You were
No.
right.
Shake
She's
his
never
head.
been here.
No, she's never been here.
It's
You're-
all in
you're
your
okay,
mind, Gary.
Huh?
It's all in your mind.
Everything
Yep.
Ooh, maybe.
could be. Hey, so
Most of it.
anyway, she was partially right. The inhumane hand grenade, I believe, is harder to throw just by virtue of the fact that it's a little bit heavier. It seems to be anyway. Without a scale, I can't be positive about that. But the actual reason is because of the way these cuts are. It actually created very large pieces of shrapnel, and they determined that it was inhumane. So the evolution of that ended up with this, which is by Vietnam they had this, but the explosives in this are quite a bit more significant than the ones in the World War II, and this one actually is probably as effective, if not more effective, than the original. But the reason I keep this here is one reason is because the fact that a hand grenade can be declared by some politician to be inhumane is so insane. It's so ridiculous. It's like, bullets that are inhumane. It's like, well, yeah. Hello,
Well-
McFly.
One kills more people because of shrapnel, and the other one kills more people by sheer explosives.
Well, yeah, no, they both kill, I think, by shrapnel. But from what my understanding is, the explosives in this make it the shrapnel probably has probably a greater range.
That's what I'm saying. So,
Right.
thus, that one being, your pineapple one being,
Yeah, go ahead. You can have
this
my
this one
hand grenade.
being more inhumane.
Right.
Sounds ridiculous when you put it that way. That one should be more inhumane.
Now, if that's a pineapple, is this like what
An
is this like
orange.
an orange shake? Okay.
Well, that's
A
a,
peach.
pineapple,
It's
and this,
peach.
they call this one the baseball because it's
Oh.
I can see why, yeah.
Yeah.
it's about the same size. They really need to put the threads on it though on the outside.
Make it look like it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
that
Like
would
Yeah.
did with this one here.
Paint it
Paint it white, yeah.
Yeah.
White with like red threads.
Carry
on
around
it.
a baseball bat, you know.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do it right.
Right.
I know.
Wear a Republican hat.
Right. Exactly. Well, it's the closest I got to a Republican hat is my "Live Free" or what is it? Don't tread on me.
Don't tread on me.
I forget.
I've seen people with that tattoo on their necks and things like that.
Don't tread on me in the neck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
But
a little bit. That's
A little
bit
harsh.
excessive.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's like really, just never mind. I'm
I
not
got
going
it
to say it
tattooed on my
because it's a
butt
little
if you
girl,
want.
so I'm not
No,
going to.
never mind.
Yeah.
No, that's not.
Yeah.
We have children here.
Yeah.
I thought of that before I said what I said.
Anyway, let's see. In the news, we got to cover the news first. Steve Valancourt,
Just his name makes me chuckle. Yeah, go ahead.
Steve Valancourt won his. They had a what do they call it when it recount, and he won
Oh.
the recount.
Oh, no kidding.
Really?
Oh, I'll be damned.
Well, I don't think it
By
changed the result. He was declared the winner to begin with, but it was
so why
close
would-
enough.
Oh, so his opponent
It was
asked for a
clo-
recount?
yeah, it was close
Okay.
enough where they had a recount. And in New Hampshire,
Didn't they
typically,
have a bunch of them this year?
yeah, well, they always do.
Is
Um,
Florida done counting?
Huh?
Is Florida done? I'm kidding.
No, they'll be. There's, they're.
It's only been a week.
They project. They
not the new
project
year
Florida
yet.
recount will be completed by the end of the
Year.
second term of Barack Obama.
Nice.
Excellent.
Nice.
Yeah, they're
All
getting
right.
better.
Yes,
And
yes, that's
with only,
progress.
what, 29 electoral votes? Thank God it wasn't close, right?
Yeah, good. But the funny thing is or the cool thing is people don't understand this, but every 2 years I vote for a Democrat.
Every 2 years.
Every 2 years I vote for a
You
Democrat.
didn't do that this year.
I will do it again this year.
What, a
But
governor?
you didn't do it this year.
I haven't yet.
Okay, good.
I will. That Democrat is Bill Gardner, the Secretary of State. I almost had a brain damage thing going on. Bill Gardner is the Secretary of State. He's a Democrat, but he's very good at what he does.
Did we have him on the show?
No.
But we've talked about him.
We've
at some
talked
point.
about him
Okay.
before. We talked about
Gotcha.
him behind his back before.
Yes.
He's
So-
been in office a long time.
Oh, yeah. And every 2 years, it doesn't matter if it's Republicans or Democrats take control of the House, because the Secretary of State is elected by the House. And I believe the House and Senate, or House, I forget which. Excuse me. And but he does such a good job. It's like Florida went to electronic ballots, and everybody was talking about these electronic ballots. Bill Gardner never went there. He always went with, well, we'll do it electronically, but I want paper proof.
Right.
I want to have something tangible in our hands at the end of the thing, so if we have to recount, we can. And if you look at the recounts, they usually change the vote just a few votes.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really, it almost never changes the outcome. It
Right.
changes the actual number in the outcome by a couple of votes, but it doesn't change who won or lost.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool. I mean, you get all these states around the country that have far more resources than the state of New Hampshire, who keep choking every 2 years. Bunch of losers. Anyway.
I have a question for
No.
you. No?
No, what? No, go
No
ahead.
questions tonight.
Well, in our town, which is different this year from last year, if you are a
Your
Republican...
town changed from one year to the next?
Did they change the name, or what changed
No,
about
they
it?
changed the voting.
Oh.
They changed the voting process.
What a
Right.
jerk
When
we
you
are,
go in and
Gwen.
they give you the ballot,
Yes.
if you are a registered Republican, they would give you a ballot and you could just vote Republican and everything
Oh,
is
straight ticket.
Straight ticket.
Yeah.
This year, they did not do that. You
Yeah, we
had to
did-
No, we had to do every single one of them.
Right. Did they did that in
Derry, too.
every place in New
Yeah,
Hampshire
yeah,
this
yeah.
year?
It's every
they've
place.
done away with the straight ticket
They
voting.
got away with a straight ticket vote, which kind of is annoying.
It is
Yeah, it
annoying.
was annoying.
It was annoying. And who decides that?
That's the legislature that decides that. So I probably voted on that, and you could probably check my voting record on it and probably hate me or not hate me depending on it, because I don't remember the vote.
What is the reason for that? I've never heard anyone actually explain what the reason is for getting rid of that, the straight ticket voting.
Getting rid of the straight ticket voting was supposed to be a function of fairness. In other words, if somebody was too lazy to go down and circle all the things, they might do the straight ticket, which would mean that there might be a libertarian or something down the end of the ticket that they're not paying attention to because they just want to get out of there.
Right.
And they figure it's your responsibility to vote, so therefore you should actually have to fill in the circles.
I didn't like doing that.
Yeah, to me, it's just another option that they can have or not have.
Right.
Why don't they give people the option? Do you want the straight ticket?
Yeah,
do you want the regular one?
Yeah,
they didn't
Because
give
sitting
the
here
option.
circling, that takes up voting time too. When people are waiting.
Right.
It does.
Some of the lines were just out the door that normally you were just able to go in and out.
Yeah, there's
That's a lot of circles to circle.
It is. And it's a lot of things to make sure, to look over and make sure you're getting across the right line.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people I know were concerned that, had to go back and, make sure they were on the right line. It's almost like, paint by number. You want to make sure you follow it all the way across.
Yeah.
Right.
When if you're, know that you voted all Republican, you did it right.
Right.
I mean, user error, I suppose. There's room.
But anyway, I believe that was the argument for that change. I personally like let the voters have whatever options they want.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I know I'm pretty sure I voted against. They changed the rules as far as independents how many signatures they had to get on the ballot. I think I voted against that because it upped it.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, if somebody wants to get 100 signatures to get on the ballot for something, that should be good enough.
I
How many
agree.
did Roseanne have to get?
Huh?
How many did Roseanne Barr have to get?
Roseanne Barr should have to get 250 million people to cotton picking before she can get on the ballot.
She got on what, 18 states? She got
As
on
president?
she was on the ballot, I
Yeah.
believe, in 18 states, and she was a write-in on 30 something more. Yep. And
I didn't
she
think
was
she got
on the
that
she
far.
was on the doctors.
I know she
and
got on a couple
the
of
show.
them.
Yep, she was on 18, I believe it was, and literally on the ballot, and a write-in on 30 something
Is
states.
she on the ballot
Wow.
in our state?
No, she was
Good.
not.
At least we do have standards.
Yeah, that I would have been
But
mortified.
I
if
never
saw
heard
that.
of her party, Peace and something.
Yeah.
I think
Peace
Peace
and
and
Love or
Party.
She's
Peace and
such an angry
Macadamias.
lady. It's funny that she would be a member of a party that has peace and then it's
Yeah.
but
Well, now I guess growing macadamia nuts in Hawaii
yeah.
chills you out a bit. I don't know.
Here's something else in the news. Before the primary, we had two of the Republicans running for county sheriff, and one of them was Frank Szabo, and very libertarian, very over the
Very libertarian.
very libertarian. He, after the election, was so disgusted. He and his family have moved to Chile.
Really?
I heard,
I didn't know that.
I heard
Really?
the Chilean president, she's a woman, and I heard she's wonderful.
Well, there you go. Maybe he's onto something.
Maybe we should all.
All those states that
I-
want to like relocate from the United States.
I heard
will all
she
go to
is
Chile.
fantastic.
Chile.
I read some wonderful
I've never
things
heard
about
of that
her.
happening after an
Yeah.
election before.
Have you?
No.
Have you heard
No,
anything
I,
about her?
I've got no. I
I
have,
wonder why.
I got no clue about the Chilean government or how it's
She's
framed.
divorced, and she's wonderful, is what I heard.
Yeah, but the problem is
But why didn't she run for president?
She's
I know.
Chilean.
I
She's
didn't
Chilean.
stop Obama,
She's
I know.
chill.
Oh, yeah, well, that was my point right there. Okay.
But
Enough
no, I
said.
don't know what I don't know what the
Maybe she should
Chilean
come be in our pageant.
I don't know what the Chilean government has for a constitution or anything else, because it really doesn't matter what person's in charge. Theoretically, if you have a good constitution, it prevents. The Constitution is a limitation on government. So therefore, if you have a crappy president, it shouldn't make any difference. It should your rights as individuals should never be in jeopardy just because of the
Infringed,
president.
Yeah, right.
So even though the lady in the president in Chile now is great, that doesn't necessarily mean it's that great of a country if it doesn't have something to protect people's liberties.
She does, though. Supposedly she does, from what I read.
Yeah.
Have you seen or heard about the movie, Obama's movie, that movie?
I've heard a few
Oh,
things. I haven't really-
2016. Yeah.
I didn't watch it because it
I
wouldn't have met.
haven't seen it yet. I haven't been able to find it, but have you?
Oh, you can get it in. Where have you looked for it?
Online?
Oh, you can get it in stores like Walmart and whatever.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's out
Oh.
on DVD.
It is?
It is
Oh,
out
yeah.
on DVD,
It's
and
already
that's why
out,
I've
yeah.
looked for
Like,
it, and I
what's in
haven't
it?
been able to find it.
That's so alarming.
Something very, very bad. I don't know if we're
Yeah.
allowed to talk right now about it.
Oh, I don't see why not.
No,
I mean,
I
as long
haven't
as it's
seen
not
it, so I
dirty,
can't
we got
say.
Right.
You can say anything that you would say in front of this cute little young lady.
Well, I haven't seen it personally, so I can't say exactly what I've heard. What other people have said, and what other people have said have people who would normally have voted for him didn't, and would never. And if they could, they would have taken their vote back.
You mean after seeing the movie? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's been out there for long enough people to see it. People should
But a
have
lot of
seen
people
it.
didn't know that it was out there. As
Well,
far
they
as I
don't
It's been on the
really-
understand.
news
yeah,
and
but-
stuff.
By the same token, I didn't watch it because there was already enough information.
Right. That's another
I already
reason.
knew
Yeah.
enough. I didn't want him in there.
I mean,
Right.
the fact of the matter is, if what happened in Benghazi, okay, if a Republican president had referred to the killing of 3 Americans and the American ambassador at an embassy in Libya,
Without
had
sending
referred to
troops.
it as a bump in the road,
Oh my gosh.
they would have raked him over the coals so badly he never would have been able to get elected after that.
Right.
It would have been constant and relentless. That's only one part of that situation.
Right. There's a cover up.
It's a cover-up. The fact that he, immediately following the Benghazi thing, sent people out and tried to infer that it was a spontaneous protest that turned badly was so inherently dishonest because they knew that it was not the truth.
Oh,
Here we go.
We have another guest.
Hi. Welcome. Sorry about that.
That's all right. Parking around here is always a pain in the butt.
Oh, I'd pop way down.
Now, who's this young lady?
Okay, this is Celine Garand. She is our Miss Teen, New Hampshire, North America. She's
Oh.
representing New Hampshire as a teen.
Well, welcome, Celine. We're just finishing up talking about the politics, and then we're going to get to you ladies. So anyway, Obama misled the American public for 2 months about Benghazi. He never came clean on what happened. In fact, an interview today, he finally had a press conference. Hasn't had one since March, I believe.
It's been 8 months. Yeah.
Yeah. and-
During my soap opera.
Oh yeah, during
nonetheless.
General Hospital.
Yeah, mhm.
I was.
I used to watch GH when I was a kid.
Yeah,
That's funny.
well, I
Well,
don't-
today we got to watch Obama.
Mine was during Days of Our Lives. I'm sorry.
He
I
was
don't do GH.
specifically asked if he was specifically asked about Benghazi, and he avoided the question again.
Yep.
It is probable that the who's the CIA director? What's his name?
Oh, Petraeus.
General
General
Petraeus.
Petraeus.
Yeah.
The investigation in General Petraeus is more than likely something that has been going on for months and months and months. They waited till after the election
They
to
kept
throw
it under
him
wraps.
out,
Yep.
and they did it to discredit him so that if he does testify, whatever he says,
He's going to testify.
he's going to testify.
Yes.
But now, whatever he says, well, the guy's having an affair. He's probably trying to make, in other words, it is traditional in situations like that for politicians to absolutely assassinate the character of anybody that might testify against them. That's what they're doing to Petraeus. But anyway, the fact that the president and his administration blocked any information into the investigation into Benghazi would never have been tolerated by the media if that was a Republican.
Right.
The fact that Fast and Furious was almost completely under the radar for the entirety of the election would never have been tolerated if he was Republican. The media is supposed to be, some people refer to it as the fourth branch of government, or the fourth branch of the Constitution, because it's supposed to be there to educate people as to what's really going on versus what you're being told is going on.
It's propaganda.
It's
But
biased.
right now, it's just propaganda.
Exactly.
It is so pointless to watch CNBC and CBS.
It makes me sick. It makes me. I don't even
Fox
want to
isn't that
turn
great.
it on.
I mean, the thing is, if you listen to any of them, like I was listening to Rush Limbaugh the other day, and he says some things that are not true also.
You think?
You listen to national propaganda radio, and they're lying to you. And what they a lot of times do is they just do not report things.
Right.
Instead of lying about something, they just, even regardless
Leave
of
it
its
out.
importance, they leave it out.
It's lies
pick
of
and choose.
omission.
Yes.
It's lies of omission
Then they
is
twist
still
that
a
around.
lie.
Right.
And if it were a Republican, they would have sent troops in to save those 3 or 4 lives because they're still American lives.
Right.
And there's where another fault lies. And I believe the woman who supposedly tattled and brought this all to attention, she's the wife of a well-known doctor who's has 2 houses in severe foreclosure, so they're saying now. I'd like to know, is she Republican or Democrat? How did they get involved, and how did
Well,
this?
that's kind of irrelevant in that, and it's kind of funny because you now have General Petraeus, whose character is being questioned because he had an affair, and being kicked out of office because he had an affair by the Democrats, because that affair jeopardizes his security of the country. Because of that affair, he would be vulnerable to blackmail and things like that. Whereas
but his
a
wife's
sitting-
sticking by him.
Whereas a sitting president messing around with an intern is
Yeah,
perfectly
that's okay.
legit.
That's exactly
Right.
what I was going to
So-
say. That's okay.
And
Well,
so
he was.
now,
Clinton was impeached. I mean,
Well,
he
that's
wasn't
what I was just
removed,
gonna
but he
say.
was impeached.
Yeah.
It's
Is-
not like he didn't. It's not like there wasn't a
as
consequence.
this
for what he did.
unfolds, I believe this could be an impeachable offense if as this unfolds, and if we find out this was a
It's
cover-up.
gonna, no, not really.
But it still
because-
can't change the election that we
No,
just
it's
had.
not gonna,
no, no.
no, I know it's
So
not
then
gonna
there's no
change the
going back.
election.
The thing that is the an impediment to that is people care mostly about getting reelected. Okay,
Right, which is why he kept it a secret.
the possibility there's two things. The Congress is capable of impeaching him, but you have a democratically controlled Senate, which will not actually
Follow through.
follow through with a sentence as to actually kick him out of office. You need both bodies. So politically, the probability of actually accomplishing that is pretty close to zero. And there's a lot of people who won't vote for it because MSNBC, CBS, and NBC will be for the next 6 months. If this starts, an
Yeah.
impeachment proceeding starts, for the next 6 months they will just be drumming home. This is a retaliation because of the Republicans don't like the way the election turned out.
Well,
I know it's not true.
I know.
Oh, no,
But
I
that that is going to be the mantra for the next 6 months, and most people pay so little attention to elections that it will probably carry the day, and if the senators being more concerned about being reelected than being doing the right thing, will back down, and nothing will ever happen from
But
it.
sometimes the right thing does happen. Sometimes.
Not often in D.C.
No,
No, don't count on that.
I'm not going to count on it. But sometimes there are things we don't know.
She's quite the dreamer, that girl.
But there are things we still don't
She's
know that
hoping.
could surface. You never
Oh,
know.
I get a feeling there's gonna be some other things
There's-
coming out. It's not
there
that hard.
are a lot of bad people out there. There are a lot of people that want to be heard, that find a way to get heard. And I really think that there's a possibility. There's a bombshell coming.
I
There's
hope
But
so.
something-
still, we needed that bombshell before the election.
I know, but it doesn't
I
matter.
was hoping
Nothing's
every night we were gonna get it.
right. But you know what? Like you said, nothing's going to change the election.
Right,
I
nothing
do
can go
believe
back.
he did something very, very wrong, and it's going to surface.
I
Whether
have-
it surfaces in 6 months, or 8 months, or 2 years,
But he's still in office.
it doesn't matter. If he gets impeached, he won't.
About-
be.
about
But then again,
Yeah,
do
but
we
then
want
who
Biden?
will? Okay,
do
so
we
you
want
go right
Biden?
there.
I
We
mean,
want
I
to
don't
do
know.
the other either?
Right.
Yeah, that's the one thing keeping Obama safe is the worst possible scenario is Biden's in there.
Right.
And he
But-
chose
but-
him carefully.
Yeah, I know.
He
The-
chose him carefully.
There's an interesting conversation I had. It was probably 6 years ago. So this does not reflect on Obama. 6 years ago, I think it was Candia. Somebody hosted a party for Ron Paul. So it would have been the 2008 election, and when he was for the primary. And
I liked Ron Paul.
I do too. His foreign policy is ridiculous, but he's
He
I
was-
think he has integrity, which is unusual.
Yep.
So he was speaking, and it was probably a crowd of about 40 or 50 people, and he was letting people ask questions. Something Obama's afraid to do typically.
Yep.
And so I asked a question because I'm a wiseacre. I said, many years ago, for many years, I thought if people haven't read the book 1984, you have to read the book.
Oh, yeah.
I have read
1984.
that
never
book.
read it.
Actually.
You've read it?
I have
you?
read that book.
That
I
is
love
awesome.
That book by George Orwell.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
So
That is a good book.
So I asked Ron Paul, you got to read that too.
You do
Don't
get
scare
that. You learn a lot from
She's
that
wicked
book.
smart.
Isn't
gonna-
she?
She's
yeah.
very
Wicked
smart.
intelligent.
Yeah. So anyway, I
That's a
told
good thing, honey.
when Ron
You'll grow up
Paul
strong.
was speaking, he had asked allowed questions, and I said to him, kind of facetiously, I said, "Well, years ago, I always thought Orwell's book that Orwell was a prophet." I says, now I'm really concerned because it seems like people are using 1984 in Washington, D.C. as a manual.
Like a script type thing, and it's the events are happening
Yeah.
in the book, which that was really written in wasn't it like 1974 or something?
No,
that
it was
book?
like late 50s,
yeah,
early
it was
60s.
it was earlier though, than
a
1984.
long time ago. So anyway, his response was very curious because everybody laughed because I said, "What are they using that as a training manual in D.C.?" And then he said he got really serious. He says, all kidding aside, there are some very evil people in D.C.
Oh, yeah.
And
There
then
are.
he
Yeah,
did
positively.
not elaborate,
Yeah.
but there's some horrible stuff going on down there that we're not privy to.
Oh, sure.
Well, for them to get to the top is you have to push some people aside first.
Yeah.
But that's
Step-
the wrong
yeah.
way how to do it.
Yeah.
Step on them.
You just have to be honest, and then you get your way to the top. Most cases.
That-
On some planet. that works.
the reason that actually
Can't
does,
agree with that one.
the reason that actually doesn't work is, and this was explained to me a long time ago. I didn't follow it because I don't care enough.
See, that works now. It's explained to me now.
Okay, I will explain it to you. If a voter, if I had a forum where I could have all the voters in Ware and Deering, and I get reelected anyway, but that's because they don't know. If I had a forum where any the voters say, well, what's your stance on are you pro-life or pro-choice? I would say I believe that life begins at conception, and that to kill a baby that is unborn is murder. Okay?
Right.
If I say that, and that's what I believe, but when I say that, I have just alienated probably 15% of the people watching me
Yeah.
will never vote for me again. They'll say, what's your stance on the Second Amendment? I says, I believe that the right to bear arms is an absolute necessity to maintain the power in the hands of the people. Because once the power is in the hands of the government, we become their subjects.
Correct.
The government is supposed to be our subject, and we have the power, and that's what the Second Amendment is all about, and that's why I will never vote against it. I just lost another 10%. And you go on down the line of issues of what you really believe, and if you're honest and straightforward, you're going to lose by the time you get through enough
You got
enough
nobody.
subjects. You got 5 people that agree with you. Because
Yeah.
that's how many people would actually agree with you on all the subjects.
Yeah, because even if
So
they
are
agree
you-
with you on most of what you believe, if they may
That one issue
specific
will
things,
say
they'll
that's
"Oh,
it.
forget
I can't support
That'll
it.
be
So
enough. They
if-
won't even listen to the
And
rest.
a
Human
lot of
nature,
those
yeah.
people
Yeah.
don't do their homework on those amendments and don't know why they're there and why they were put there in the first place. And an interesting fact on what you said about the Second Amendment, in Switzerland, every high school graduate is given an automatic weapon when they graduate, man
Really?
and woman. Yes.
Yes.
And they keep it for the rest of their lives.
Huh.
I wonder why they have great cheese.
and they,
pretty funny.
What did you say? What did she say?
They have great cheese.
And they have great cheese.
I mean, the beer is after the fact, but first it's the cheese.
What about the chocolate? Chocolate, Swiss chocolate is good too.
I like Belgian personally.
Belgian chocolate's good too.
Yes.
Been to both countries.
Wow.
I can't say I'm partial to either.
But
See,
you're
I'm
right.
not, so
You're
I
right.
need to
They,
go to
they are
Switzerland.
given a firearm. They know how to use it.
And
they
they're
actually have to
trained.
keep it with them for I forget how long.
The rest of their lives.
I know, but they have to keep it
On them,
with,
yes. Mm-hmm.
within arm's reach for X number of 6 months or something like that. I don't know what the
And
number
they are trained. They are given a trainer. They are trained on it. Every woman and man when they graduate, and they are trained fully on it till they know everything about it, how to use it, how to defend, how to be offensive, how to be defensive.
Right.
And I found that out just recently, and I guess the Geneva Convention and Switzerland being the country that it is, pretty smart.
Yeah.
Now, do they have a license for that too?
They get it. Yes, after they're trained, they do get it.
Mm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's we don't under our constitution you're not required to have a license. Anyway, let's talk about you have this cutest young lady here.
Isn't she
She's into rockets. I don't know into rockets, but she's building rockets in school. That's what we heard about. Explain to us why you're building rockets again.
I don't know why we're building rockets. I don't.
Make up something. It's politics. We just make up answers. What kind of rocket?
What
do you wanna do with-
What do you want to do with the Rockets?
I want to see if mine wins. I'll see if mine goes.
Oh, what is it? A
highest.
contest or
You're
something?
gonna have to get closer to your mic, hon.
Well, in my engineering class, what we're supposed to do is we're given like these little model kits, and we have to see. We're building rockets after we watch how we make them and stuff, and I guess whoever goes the highest, like we're doing a contest, like whoever's can goes
to do that.
the highest or like the farthest distance and stuff, and he gives them a candy prize.
What do you get to use to make it propel?
I I think we're using eight engines or something. We aren't gonna get we're not gonna get anything until after we've
You build
learned
it.
about them. We still have to do book work and stuff on rockets.
That sounds pretty cool. We didn't get to do
Yeah,
that.
we didn't get to do that in school. You
I
didn't
thought we
know?
were just doing like an egg drop. That's it. And
A
seeing
what?
Oh,
the-
we did.
the egg drop.
We already did that.
Oh, you
And
did?
then-
Did your
yeah.
egg
I
run?
didn't get to do that either. I got to build
Only
a
one
volcano.
survived.
And I had
And
to figure out
then
how to
we
make it
did
explode.
something else.
I think
just
I did
don't
well on
remember
that.
what it was.
I did
Yeah, we
remember
did.
that.
Yeah, we did bridges too.
I used all my
I
anger.
did little. Yeah.
You know,
And then
you know where they
after
probably
this, we're doing model cars.
years ago when my kids were little, they had Odyssey of the Mind, and they used to do stuff like that. The egg drop was how far did the egg have to?
We
It
had
has- First of all, you can't hard boil it, which was as a politician, that's what I would have done.
Yeah.
That's what we had to do. We had to
What is the egg drop?
The egg, no,
We never even did that
explain,
in school.
explain the egg drop. That's actually pretty
my
awesome.
daughter
Ours
did it. I
had
let
to
them
be ours was dropped 30 feet out of a window onto concrete, but
Yeah.
sadly only one egg survived out of like 7.
So how they survive is you have to be able to make them survive. So you
Right.
have to like find a way how they could be like cushioned inside, so when you drop them, they won't explode.
Right. So what?
So it's all up in the mind, pretty much.
Huh?
With our eggs, we were given only a certain amount of supplies, and we had to half of our egg had to be showing, which was really hard. But we got to practice with plastic eggs with little weights in them.
Right.
But what happened was the weight actually broke the plastic egg.
Oh, okay.
And,
Okay.
But when we actually did end up dropping them, he said a good idea was like to put it inside of a blown up plastic bag with like cushioning inside of it, and then
Who said that?
our engineering teacher, and then get 30 feet of string.
What a
Get 30
jerk!
feet
You're
of
supposed.
string.
No, you're
Then give us
supposed.
30 feet of string.
Yeah, but that's what you're supposed to figure out. He's not supposed to tell you how to do it.
That's
supposed to be
after.
creative
You said
and
one of them
After it was
Okay.
done, and then he told us we could also like get 30 feet of string, and then just lower it to the ground, and then have the egg survive.
That's cheap.
I think one of my three
No.
Yeah, I had
kids
to
They
put
drop
it
mine. Like,
inside.
I
Wait,
put
wait,
it
wait,
in-
Yeah,
what
he
did
told
you do?
he told us. Well, ours we actually made it was like a little hot air balloon type of thing.
Yeah,
It had
That's what one of my kids
parachutes,
did.
and we ours parachuted to the ground, and it had one little crack.
What about you?
I use cotton balls.
Cotton balls?
Yep.
And
I
attach-
surround it with cotton balls, and then I surrounded it with something else. I think it was plastic, like a plastic bottle. I put it in
Yeah.
a plastic bottle, and then I put the cotton balls around the plastic bottle.
How'd that work?
It didn't work out.
Didn't
It
survive.
You should have put them inside the plastic bottle.
See, I did, and then the cotton balls. Yeah, that's true.
Did anybody try putting it inside a blown up balloon and then insulating the balloon? That's what
No.
one of my kids tried, and I don't remember if it survived or not, but I think that it did, but they put something else inside the balloon with it. Blew up the balloon, put something inside it, and then put the egg inside there, so the balloon took the impact, and when it popped, whatever was in the balloon took that, and I don't remember which.
Why not just drop a chicken out?
How did
dri-
the
dri-
egg fit in the balloon?
No, what you do is you drop a chicken out the window and have it lay the egg when it gets there.
I didn't even say that.
Is a chicken is it like a cat? You can drop it and it'll land
I don't think it has
I don't
nine
know.
Nine
I
lives?
don't think it's gonna do that.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's just it. When
Yeah.
it hits the bottom, it's going to be so scared it'll lay the egg.
Right. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It's funny you said that. My
I'll
daughter
get your
was
egg down there.
my daughter was trying out this, checking to see if her cat would land on its feet the other
Yeah.
night as she was throwing it at the wall.
What?
Oh.
Yeah, not
That's so
Poor
wrong.
not chucking it at the wall, just kind of
Heaving it.
heaving it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you already
Yeah,
spoke.
yeah. She hit the wall and then hit the floor, and she did land on her
Peter's going to be
feet.
here by the end of the show, by the way, but keep going. We don't care.
Sorry,
We have hand grenades, though.
that's right. We do. You do.
It's good though that they get to learn that though when they're little.
There's
Like
a-
they
there-
get to use their creativeness.
There's actually a study, and I don't know who the twisted bugger that does this. There was a study, I think it was in Chicago, where they know that after a certain amount of feet, like if a cat falls out of a 2-story window, the probability of surviving is close to 0. But like at 4
your dog
stories,
throw the
it
cat?
might be
Just
3,
in the room.
might be 3
You say
stories.
it like it's nothing.
But anyway, after a certain amount of stories, their probability of survival goes up.
Oh, really?
Oh, is it because they're able to turn in time?
They're,
It gives
well,
them more
not only
time
they're
to-
able to turn in time, but they're actually able to start adjusting.
Oh.
And actually, there's kind of a maximum velocity they hit because of the wind resistance.
I was
Yeah.
just gonna say, do
No, you
they,
just
they
throw 'em
catch
on
it under their
highways.
armpits or something?
Right.
Huh.
And I'm not saying you. I'm not saying your daughter should try that. I'm just
Oh,
saying.
she won't. She won't.
Oh,
She loves
okay.
her cat. She was just being goofy.
I just
Yeah.
wouldn't give her any ideas more.
Yeah, you don't want.
She's in the other room.
Okay.
I don't have to give her ideas.
I'll just tell her
That
to-
girl has enough ideas of her own. She scares me sometimes with the ideas she comes up with.
That's a good thing.
She's
Yeah.
very
So
creative.
we're gonna run out of time. We get so ridiculous. So we'll start at the end. What is your title and how'd you get it and what are you involved with? Because I know that most of the ladies in this thing do charity and stuff like that. So we'll start at the end. Go ahead, hon.
Okay, well, my name is Celine Garand, and I just recently moved to Derry. I bought my first house. I'm 18 years old. I just graduated
You
high
bought
school.
your first
can you believe
house
it?
at 18.
I did.
Wow.
Well, in high school, I have a great work ethic, and I kind of used that to an extent that I had 4 jobs in high school. And then when I graduated, I became a senior executive at a window and door company.
In Derry?
No, that's in Auburn, Mass. I have to travel about 2 hours just to get to work every day.
Wow.
But it's definitely worth it.
Holy.
For a place that you like to
I
work
feel like
for.
such a loser.
I know, right?
And I'm opening up my own business soon as well.
Really? Where?
Yes.
In Derry?
No, in Haverhill, Mass.
Haverhill,
My
Mass.
parents own a discount store in Haverhill.
The
so
what?
they own a discount store in
Okay.
Haverhill, Mass. Yep.
Wow.
So I'm familiar with the area.
So what do you do for your charity?
Well,
Funnel it
pretty
back
much
into the business?
what I'm going to do,
That's a good charity. That's good business sense there. Yeah.
what I'm going to do is I found a cancer association up in Meredith, New Hampshire.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do kind of like a Toys for Tots type thing.
Yeah.
And by Christmas time around there. And then we bring all the toys to them. And then just have like a day of fun with them and explain their stories to me and get to know them a little better.
Well, I have my own charity. I don't know if you want to get involved in that because you're
Okay.
obviously really good. It's Guns for Rednecks.
Oh,
Yeah.
after talking about that amendment, all right.
I thought rednecks
We'll see
were
how it
issued again
goes.
when you turn 18.
Nice. I'm not right in the head. Sorry. And now, what you were telling me a little bit about your charity?
Mine is childhood cancer.
No, first you got to say your name and what your title is.
My name is Emily McFarland, and I'm Junior Miss New Hampshire,
Junior Miss New Hampshire,
North America.
North America. You're from North America?
Yeah.
Got confused there.
No,
I was born in Hartford. Where's that? Is that North America?
no.
Okay.
That's Cuba.
Oh,
So
it's awesome there.
70,
Might not be going there
70
soon.
It's warm there.
77
Yeah,
degrees
I
right
like
now.
that.
So. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Cutie.
My charity is childhood cancer because when my mom was 17, she had cancer.
Okay.
Tell them about the things that you're making and stuff.
I've been making duct tape crafts. I actually have pink duct tape, and I've been making them into breast cancer ribbons, and I've been selling them, and all the money that I get from the breast cancer stuff goes toward the Breast Cancer Foundation.
That's very cool, but you can use those duct tapes and learn to make silencers out of them.
You're always thinking.
Everything. The Second Amendment.
The brain keeps coming.
The Second Amendment keeps coming.
Then you can do silencers for rednecks.
Yes.
That's
You're all
actually
about the rednecks tonight.
You have to
aren't
put the rednecks in there somewhere.
yeah. You
That's
got to
what
put the
you're
rednecks
saying.
in
Yeah.
there. But that's actually a joke. If you make them, it's only 10 years in jail if you get caught. So don't worry about it. You could do that standing on your
Is
head.
that
You're
true?
pretty young.
Is that true? You make a silence? Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You gave him an idea.
That's a federal crime. 10 years minimum, I believe.
We won't be doing that, girls.
No.
Wow.
No.
Oh, come on!
Oh, well, Gary
Imagine
showed
how
us.
much you
It's
could get
for-
made in jail.
Go
It's
first. How
for a
about
good
that?
cause.
Oh, if it's for you, then
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah.
You can go first.
I don't know if I got 10 years left, so I.
Make sure it's your name on everything.
All right, yeah. So, anyways, I'm sorry. I'm kind of mentally, challenged. So you're doing it for cancer. You're doing a charity. How do you do? What do you sell to for the charity?
I've made little bags that have breast cancer ribbons on them. I've made actual breast cancer ribbons. I think I have a couple pins that I've made,
Yeah.
and I'm in the middle of trying to make a backpack.
Out of duct
that's
tape too?
awesome.
I have a backpack that I actually use for school made out of duct tape.
Wow.
I like to see how
They
you
have
put that
colorful
together.
duct tape, so
Huh?
they have colorful duct tape. They have
They
like
do have
patterns
colorful
and
It's
duct
true.
tape,
colors.
My dad sells it.
Back in the day, they just had gray.
And I have polka dots. I think I have
They
mustaches.
polka dot duct tape?
You have zebra,
Yeah.
you told me, didn't
Yeah, I have zebra. I have
Wow.
mustaches. I was gonna get the Justin Bieber, but I didn't. And then I have almost.
She
I
held
have,
herself back.
and then I have every color of the rainbow.
Every
Wow.
color of the rainbow?
Yep. And
Infrared?
I have a ton of the colors.
I got her on that
You
one.
did, yeah.
Finally.
I don't.
Finally.
She's pretending she didn't hear you like a politician.
Just doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Finally, I can,
My girl's
almost,
smart.
I can almost say I'm smarter than a 6th grader.
There you go.
I thought I was already smarter than
I
a
know,
fifth
I know.
grader.
That's good.
I'm exaggerating.
playing on
obviously.
I always thought I was smarter than a fifth grader.
talking about the show.
I thought you were smart. I thought it was. I was. Are you smarter
yeah, but
than
you're
a
a
fifth
6th
grader?
grader, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
So we have to switch it up a little bit.
Okay.
We're dealing with a politician here.
Yeah.
He doesn't play
Anything
by
you
the
say
book.
can and will be used against you if you're dealing with a politician. And any questions you ask will not be answered directly
Or correctly.
or correctly.
Remember these things.
It was like Cotton picking Obama today. He was asked direct question about Benghazi. Blah, 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 off into the... No, it didn't even come close to answering it.
Like every debate he
Think
was
he's
in.
ever gonna?
No.
Oh, no kidding.
But anyway, let's not go back.
Yeah.
So anyway, how are you doing? We haven't seen you for... What,
It's
last
been
time we guys
about
were?
10 months, maybe.
10
No, it
months,
hasn't been
yeah.
that long.
Yeah, I think it was around. It's about, yeah. It's been
Yeah,
about
so
that
anyway,
long.
what have you been up to besides being awesome?
I have been working with Charlene,
Yep.
obviously, on bettering the pageant, making it. We're working on bullying awareness, and
Oh, yeah.
that's a very
What Matt does to me like that.
really. Is it that? Does it go that way, or is it the other way around?
I'm a cruel man, but fair.
All right. I don't know. The way I see it is, that, you need to choose to see the world through grateful eyes, and once you do that, it'll never never look the same again.
That is absolutely true. One of the, I got to figure out how to say this without getting myself in trouble.
Good luck.
An organization that I belong to, one of their key things is the an attitude of gratitude. And it's actually something my grandmother tried to instill in me when I was young, because I was
It
sick.
does make sense.
I was sick when I was little, and I still am. Now it's mentally
we have
too.
that in
but-
common.
And my grandmother says, "Well, count your blessings." And it used to make me mad as heck at her,
Yeah,
But you couldn't punch her because she made apple pie.
yeah.
Yeah.
There you
Plus,
go.
there's
That's
rules
good.
about punching
There is rules?
grandmothers.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
not very well.
Yeah.
Not
Accepted.
taken, accepted,
Yeah.
not
No.
socially acceptable.
You can run over my reindeer, but you can't.
Right. Right. Yeah.
That's a good one.
You're not allowed on the show again. Anyway, speaking of bullying. So that's what you've been doing is working on that and
My platform has always been disabled, not discouraged. So it's a hard thing to do
It
to
is.
keep yourself not discouraged. Knowing, especially when your disabilities keep piling up. Every time you go to the doctors and you
Instead
find
of
there's
going away,
something
they
that
just keep increasing.
they just keep increasing.
I
And they
oh,
do.
I know.
And it's a hard thing to keep your family going and keep yourself going. And so I do a lot of volunteering.
Have
I
you just
do
taught-
Toys
just
for
put, like,
Tots.
If you just put like Valium in their food.
My doctor is calling me right now.
Oh, weird.
I don't want to know what he has to say.
Right,
So I'm just
right.
going to
No, we'll
take
wait
care
till
of
later
that
on
right
that
now. I don't know.
No,
I
just
don't
put
even wanna know.
This is just a little hint from Uncle Gare.
Okay.
Put Valium in the kids' food, and it'll just calm right down. It's easier to take control of them.
No, the
think
kids
that's
are
illegal.
good. It's
What?
I think it's illegal. You can't.
I thought we give the kids Ritalin now. I thought it was Ritalin.
Ritalin.
yeah, that's illegal
Yeah.
Valium. That's
That might be
illegal
illegal.
Because you
Valium.
can't have children running around with energy.
Right.
No,
Yeah,
no, that's
No,
not,
they,
that's not
no,
right.
they just give them
Little-
Mio
you know,
and
little
all that
children
other stuff.
Mio, yeah.
Little children bouncing, that's not right.
Yeah, it's it's annoying.
They should
really.
be sitting in the corner drooling like they're supposed to.
They should be out getting jobs.
Do you know what I found my daughter did
Yes.
with her timeout
Love
chair?
that.
Yes.
She painted it all white. She painted her timeout chair that said timeout. She just covered it with a white coating of paint now. Now it's her favorite chair.
Wow.
Yeah. But
So-
So
being
no more time out?
not according to her. No. But yes, I've been doing a lot of volunteering. I'm on a board we started an ice hockey team at the Sanborn High School,
Where's Sanborn High School?
Sanborn Regional in Kingston, where my
Okay.
daughter and her best friend, boyfriend are.
Her best
now-
friend, boyfriend?
No, they have a craft fair coming up.
Yes, and that's
I
for
booked
the
that.
you did. And that,
I did.
That is specifically for the a fundraiser for the ice hockey team.
That is good to know.
Yep. And
I did that. I went into Harvard, Mass. with my friend and collected money for the Harvard hockey team.
You did.
Yeah.
See how much we have in common?
Yeah,
Every
but-
time we come here, we find
No,
out how
not
much
really,
more.
because they didn't have a hockey team, and I was from the next town over. I think the statute of limitations has gone on that.
Probably.
We'll see.
Hopefully.
So
That's
this
smart.
is a little better. I was working at the Big E and I had a park, so I gave them a donation for the hockey team.
Oh,
And
at
it
the
was,
Big E?
Yep.
How'd you like that? That's pretty cool, huh?
That was interesting. I worked 12-hour shifts every day.
Wow.
It was for 2 weeks.
Wow.
So I had a lot of Cliff Bars, but it was fun. The parking
That's
was
good.
crazy though, so that's
Yeah,
where
that
I
is,
parked.
that is
'cause I
hard to
figured
park there.
it's actually going towards something if I parked there.
Okay. Yeah.
We did a
Oh,
walk
our
for
first annual
bullying,
bully awareness walk.
and we did it on the same day that we coincided with Canada, that they did it in the
Montrebec.
evening. I'm sorry,
Montrebec?
Montrebec, something like that. It was I can't pronounce the town. It's a
Quebec?
small town, so they did it in the evening. We did ours in Massachusetts.
I had them going both the same day.
Oh,
Yep,
really?
we did too. We did it in the morning and then in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So that was our first annual Massachusetts one. We tried to put together one in New Hampshire, but unfortunately the days grew shorter, the days grew
Yeah, we still
colder.
got time to do that in the spring.
But we will do it in.
Hey, we
in
got
the
a
springtime.
call?
We have a call.
Holy moly.
We got a call
Wow.
last time, but they hung up.
Oh,
Let's see if they can hang up again.
It's Eric. Hey, Eric.
Hello, guys.
What's
What's
up?
happening?
Hi.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Good.
Hey.
Good.
I thought I'd give you guys a quick call and say Happy Thanksgiving.
Well,
Hey,
thank you.
thank
Eric.
you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Speaking
Have
of
a good
being
rest of your
grateful,
show. Have a good evening.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
Right, Eric. Thank you. He's a good guy. He calls once in a while.
Oh, that's good. He stayed on the line.
That's good. We were here for the while.
Speaking of grateful, Thanksgiving is coming up, and it's kind of funny. When my daughter was, I think, about your age, maybe a little bit younger, she was probably in 4th grade. She came home, and my daughter's wicked smart, and I don't know where she get, probably from my wife. And she says to me, "Well,
Oh, we have
Another
another
call.
call. Should we
go ahead,
grab
go
this?
ahead, let's do it. Let's
All right.
go for the gold."
It's Ross. Oh, and he hung up.
I don't blame
Oh,
him.
no.
All right, same call as last time.
No, it's Ross. He's probably still mad at me. He lost his election.
He's crank calling us.
Yeah, he's crank calling us, yeah.
Let it ring once and hang it up. Sure. No wonder he lost.
Yeah.
They didn't mean that, Ross. You should
Yeah, no,
call
he-
back.
He's a pharmacist at CMC, so every
Oh.
time he's on the show, we call him a drug dealer.
I can't imagine how that wouldn't be helpful to him.
I don't know why he hung up.
I don't know why he lost.
Yeah.
That's kind of a weird coincidence. So anyway, when my daughter was
Oh, this is probably. Let's see if it's him. Nope, it's somebody else. All right. We got time, right? Quick one.
yeah, go ahead.
Hi, welcome to Rock, Paper, Hand Grenades. Who's on the line?
Caitlin Regan.
Yeah, hi. How you doing?
I'm good.
Do you have a question or?
No, that's my cousin. Hello, this is Caitlin Regan,
Hi, Caitlin.
and I'm good. No, but I wanted to say hi to my cousin Emmy.
It's your cousin?
Yeah, say
You have a fan.
Say
Hi. I don't remember. I don't know any of my cousins. I really don't know
Where are you
most of
calling
them.
from?
She's Mommy, you're doing a really, really good job. Keep up the good work, too.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a good night, Judy.
I don't know. I don't know most of my cousins.
Bye.
It got a little confusing because she was listening to the because we're on a delay.
Yeah.
And she was listening to that.
So anyway, my daughter's comes home from school and tells me, you know what Thanksgiving's for, Dad? I said, no. Well, yeah, but what do you? She goes, it's to give thanks to the Indians. I said, really? Right? You want to take this, or who is this? Is it Ross?
No. Oh, I think it's the same number, actually.
Oh, okay.
Hello. Welcome to Rock, Paper, Hand Grenades.
It's, Christine Rosati, she's on your show right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm meeting Marissa, her daughter.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi, baby. Hi, sweetheart. What's up?
I want to make a comment on what you said earlier about my cat.
Oh.
I wasn't saying you were being cruel to your cat. It was about the other night when she was
She was cat at the wall.
by the fireplace, remember?
I didn't throw the cat at the wall.
No, she was being
No.
frisky, remember?
Yeah. See, the thing is, on this show, I get to pick on people because I'm a bully. So that's more my fault than hers.
Prevent that.
Okay, so
Alright.
we have to have a disclaimer.
Sorry, honey.
Okay, that's good enough.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye, Marissa.
So,
No more calls.
yeah,
Yeah,
we're out of time anyway. We're gonna have to do this again because we ran out of time. I'm really curious about their stories, but
Sorry.
yeah. So anyway, they were teaching them in school that the Thanksgiving was all about giving thanks to the Indians, and these are pilgrims who were giving thanks to God, but they weren't allowed to teach that in school.
No.
I had to prove it to my daughter by showing her encyclopedias and everything else
Oh.
to show that it wasn't to give thanks to the Indians. They probably invited the Indians, but they were Christians. There's no way that was what they started Thanksgiving for.
They're not even allowed to say under God to the flag anymore.
In which school?
A lot of schools. I'm not sure.
Now
how
they're
much-
trying to
That's
discourage
what-
the national
yeah,
anthem.
There were
Mom
actually some people
said-
that sat down though
What?
during it. Well, when I went to Pinkerton, there were some people that sat down during it and would refuse to say it, but everybody else they would say.
Now they're trying to discourage the national anthem at games.
Oh my goodness!
That was on the
gracious.
news this week.
We need to stop that.
I did that.
Well,
We
I bet
actually
you if it
that
was
flew
Catholic
last
school,
year.
though, you'd
People
be able
can-
to say it.
The thing is remember, people have the right to start their own cotton picking national anthem at those games. If they don't sing it, have everybody in the audience sing it anyway.
Yeah.
You can.
You can.
You can. You can just stand up,
You stand
blurt
up.
it out, sing it.
You stand up and start singing. I'm willing to bet there'll be a lot of people joining you.
I will do that.
But anyway, we're out
Oh,
of
I know you will.
Celtics game. I will stand
we're out
up.
of time.
and
I
will do
used up
that.
too much time talking about politics and didn't get enough time to talk to you ladies. I'm very sorry. But it's still fun anyway.
It is. It's always
It
fun
was. It was a
coming here.
pleasure.
I love coming
Sorry, I
here.
was late.
Keep up the good work, Shirley.
It was actually
Thank you
a
very
really
much,
bad
folks.
Thanks,
accident.
everybody.
Next week, I got no clue what we're doing. I just know that Matt's not going to be
I
here.
will not be here next week, so happy Thanksgiving, Garrett.
Happy Thanksgiving, young man.
Well, maybe
All right.
Charlene should co-host for you next week then.
Well, I already asked Norm.
Oh.
'Cause I didn't
Hey,
know
my
what I was
dad's
going
name is
to do.
Norman.
Thinking of me?
I'm always thinking of you, but
That's
Aw.
interesting.
All right, bye, everybody.
we'll see ya.
Bye.